Alright, what's up guys? Today we're going to talk about epithelial tissues. And there are four types of tissues in the body. There's epithelial, connective, and muscle and neural tissue. And tissues are basically just a collection of cells that perform specialized functions. And again, epithelial is one type. It can really be broken down into two different things. Epithelia and glands. And now epithelia, they cover exposed surfaces in the body. Or line internal lumen. A distinctive feature of epithelia is that they are non-vascular. Glands, on the other hand, exactly, what many people think of them. They secrete substances. This could be, hormones, hormone precursors, but they could also be broken down into endocrine and exocrine. And the base of the words pretty much tells you what these do. Endocrine, again, is the hormones. Precursors are hormones. That are secreted into the body. While exocrine glands secrete to external surfaces or passageways. That connect to the outside. This would be like the digestive system or something like that. So epithelial tissues really have four main functions, which includes physical protection. This is such as our skin, which is a keratinized stratified epithelium. Our skin protects us from the outside environment, anything that might hurt us. It controls permeability. What else? Sensation in connection with neural tissues. And finally, like we said before, secretion. They secrete substances including hormones, sweat, and just many different things that allow our body to function as it does. Now, epithelial cells have some defining features. They have apical surfaces, which lead to the exterior of the body, or internal duct or lumen. And then they also have, if they have apical surfaces, they have bases. And these attach to adjacent tissues. Because these types of cells, these epithelial tissues, have two different sides, really, the apical and the bases, which both serve different distinct functions. We say that they do have polarity. And because one of the functions of epithelial cells and tissues is protection, there's a lot of interconnections in between these cells. Our skin, for example, we don't want things to be able to be absorbed into our skin that can hurt us, so these connections need to be tight. And there's other types of connections too, and we'll talk about them. So tight junctions are, like I was talking about, say we have two skin cells next to each other like this. These are all keratinized. They would be all layered on top of each other. Squamous cells. Tight junctions are going to connect in between those so that any kind of liquid or substance on the surface can't absorb into deeper tissues. So that's the function of tight junctions. Gap junctions. These allow cells to communicate, as they say, and basically they're like little channels that allow ions to be interchanged, and it allows it's a way of cells to communicate with each other. This is especially important in digestive tracts, endocrine glands, because they all need to work together. Desmosomes, they form, they interlock adjacent cells very tightly by connecting the cytoskeletons. While the hemidesmosomes connect the base cells. To the basement membrane. And the basement membrane is it's a non-cellular structure. It's basically the transition zone. So say we'll have a epithelium here. That's the basement membrane. And then you might have connective tissue here. What hemidesmosomes do is they connect these bottom epithelial cells to this basement membrane, so they can't just be pulled up and separated. But like I said, it's a non-cellular structure. It is composed. It's created by this epithelium and the connective tissue together. There's two layers: the clear layer, which is basically just glycoproteins, and the dense layer, which is bundles of protein fibers. And these bundles of protein fibers inhibit diffusion. So there's some different shapes of epithelial cells. There's squamous, which is thin and flat in a sectional view. There's cuboidal, which are small boxes like this in sectional view. Another way that you can pretty much recognize cuboidal tissue type, epithelial type, is that the nucleuses will pretty much be centered right in the middle of the cell under a light microscope. Columnar, again in sectional view, tall rectangular boxes. Tall rectangular, and again, a lot of these cells contain microvilli and stuff like that, because there's a lot of columnar located in the digestive tract to help move along food and mix the enzymes and stuff like that. And then finally, there's two other distinctions. You can have a simple epithelium, or a stratified epithelium. Simple, again, is one layer. It's simple, while stratified is multiple layers. Again, the skin is a special type of squamous epithelium. It's keratinized. So The skin is squamous, it's stratified, and it's keratinized. And basically what that means is a bunch of layers of squamous cells that are packed with keratin protein. This makes them resistant to moisture and stuff like that. And it makes them tough, you know, because we want our skin, again, our skin is a protective barrier to the external world. That's about it for the epithelial tissue types. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment.